Hi Sagittarius, this is going to be your reading for the week of the 1st to the 7th of September. Let's begin. I'm getting this feeling of like you might be waiting for something to come in. I'm seeing like a bus. A bus is something that comes like every time at a specific time where I'm at. And I feel like you might be waiting for something that might have a specific timing for it that is meant to come in for. We'll figure it out in the reading what it is. So currently, as you are, I see you taking a leadership role in your life, almost ready to go at a moment's notice, being very visionary of how you want things to go. It's like you've been planning a certain situation, and now you've been ready to take action. Prior to the week, I see you had been in the sort of energy of divine love. You've been feeling connected to the universe, been connected to source or the universe, and I feel like you cherish that connection that you have. There's a lot of love between you and the universe. And it sort of had you in this energy of being, in delight, in joy, being, feeling a warmth, that you are connected to the universe and the universe is watching over you. But this, for whatever reason, has led, this is coming into the week, has led you into a state of sort of reflection, a state of soul searching and finding your inner guidance. You know that you've been connected, but like you've almost been in the cold with yourself in regards to yourself, and you sort of want to come out of this cold and be not just connected very strongly, but you want your physical reality to be as you would like it to be. I see you have been, you're going in, you have been, so I'm doing this reading a bit late, so prior to the week, probably on Saturday, Sunday, you went inside yourself and you are reflecting upon, what you had been through, what you have been through, and trying to find your own light within inside of yourself. You've been trying to figure out what it is, who you are. You've been doing some soul searching. At the beginning of the week, you've had some sort of clarity, some sort of clear thinking, some clear thinking about your experiences and what you've been going through. It's like an expression within yourself that you've sort of combined all the different sort of experiences that you have gone through and tried to make sense of what your journey is. I feel like this is not a financial or love reading. I feel like this is a personal reading, like a personal growth reading. I feel like this is something that you really need to hear. Maybe I'm the only one who can deliver this message, that you know of, and I feel like you've combined things that you have gone through, and you sort of in unison with the different experiences and the different situations that you've had to go through, and you sort of made sense of how, when you put them together, what do they mean to you? Because I see you very puzzled about what it is that you have been through. Like, you're like, things just seem a bit random, and you're trying to make sense of it. But you're thinking very hard. This is your energy for, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, possibly, and you're thinking very hard within yourself of, you know, you realize there's something you need to cut out. You realize, not cut out, but shed away. I'm seeing like a stone, like a rock on the shore, and when the rock is there, it can be clunky or whatever, and the waves hit it, and as it hits it loses more and more, but it becomes more softer, like the edges, and it becomes more beautiful. And I feel like this is what you're searching for. Like you're figuring out that these experiences have made you sort of like that, like you've been shedding away like weight that doesn't really necessarily serve you or benefit you in any way. And this is not just weight within one way. It's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, sort of like you've been cleaning up your energy a lot, and you're realizing that, hold on, what I've been going through, as different as they are, these experiences, I see these experiences are very different, and some of them might have been very challenging for you to get over and get across, but you're making sense of all of them. You're making sense that they do correlate with each other. They have some sort of cohesion. They lead to one another, and so forth, to where you are right now. And you're realizing that whatever the situation was that you were in, it was some sort of disagreement or conflict, within yourself. Like when you were younger, like you were sort of led to believe in some way or another that you needed to be like whatever you were doing, and it didn't serve you. It made you in conflict with yourself. But now you're you're older and you're in a much better place. You're realizing that you might have a bit of regret in regards to this situation. Or why did I allow myself to be like this? Why did I allow myself to sort of dim my own light and be in a state of conflict with myself when I knew what the right way was. I hear that you knew what the right way was. I feel like you were challenged. People challenged you, and they were like, "You're wrong." But because you cared for them, you accepted their narrative as your narrative, and what they deemed was right, you deemed that should be the right way, just for the sake of cohesion or getting along with people. But that wasn't your truth. You knew better, but you didn't understand why you knew better. And because of that, you had a disagreement within yourself. You had a conflict within yourself because of that. And now you're at a place where you've known that you've always been very connected to the universe, but you never understood like why things don't make sense in your life. So you are gonna make sense of it this week. You're gonna realize it's like you're going out the box. You're like, I'm getting V for Vendetta. Like you're kind of like going on to like this. You're realizing things from a very, very radical, different perspective than what you normally think of things. You're thinking very differently, and you're gonna realize that yes, it was a disagreement within myself that put me in this situation, that put me in a state of not knowing not understanding why I'm not as my physical reality is not as connected as my connection to the universe. I see you by the end of the week having some sort of divine choice to make. You have like another mountain to climb, another is bigger than what you've been through before. But know that if you do decide to climb this new mountain that's being presented to you, it's not going to make sense to you right now. It's going to make sense to you by the end of this week. You're going to have to go through this energy of reflection, but by the end of this week, I can't show it because of the card, but it's the Lovers card. But by the end of the week, you're being presented with this mountain. I think this is going to be inspired to you. Yeah, it's going to be inspired to you. And you're planning by the end of this week, and this mountain is gonna appear in your consciousness. Like, you're gonna realize that you need to climb up this mountain. You're gonna know that this is specifically for you. By the end of the week, it's different for everyone, but you're gonna realize that I need to climb this sort of mountain, whatever it is, to be who I want to be. But know that if you do decide to take this path, you're being watched over. There's a very strong spirit here. The universe is also watching over you, and there's a very strong spirit here, a very powerful spirit that's watching over your endeavors and your well-being. It might seem like you're on this road alone. You might be alone. You might not really have people that you can trust or talk to. I'm getting here is very you by yourself. But know that you are being watched in the spiritual. People don't realize that we only perceive a very narrow bandwidth of what is perceivable. Like there's a scale called the electromagnetic scale, and in the middle is visible light, which is a tiny little thing that we can perceive. But there's a rest of the scale that we can't, as humans, can't perceive without technology. We might get there someday, but at the moment, as it currently is, we can't see these divine beings that are around us, but they are there. It's only because we are able to perceive a little bit. It's like them dog whistles, when you have the dog whistle, we can't hear them, but the dogs can. Again, they can hear higher frequencies than we can. We can only hear between 18 hertz and 18,000 hertz. But just know that, just have trust that you are being looked after, you are loved. Know that you are loved by the universe. The universe is watching over you in your endeavors, and you know this already. You already know you're connected. You are harmonious with the universe. Maybe you're able to do things in the spiritual and they manifest physically. And it could be something as little as changing the weather. I know it sounds strange, but people can do this. Something that you can do, but it spooks you. Like you're like, oh, I can do that, but you haven't. I don't think you've told anyone about this, but I know. But know that you're being watched over, and you need to have belief that you are loved, and you can make it to the top of the mountain. That this where you want to go, who you want to be, and this life you want to have. You're gonna have to climb a mountain, but not to dissuade you or anything. But it's not going to be difficult for you. I don't see it being very, it's like a smooth mountain that you can just climb up. It's not going to be very rocky, but it's still a mountain, and you're going to feel that it is a mountain, but it's necessary for your own growth. But know that, you are being watched over, and you're going to be able to, you will get to where it is that you want to go. It's like, it's not going to be easy. Easy is not the word, but it's not going to be... There's not going to be a lot of obstacles in your way. But I see a key here for you is you need to realize that you have you're able to persevere. You've persevered in many situations against all odds. Maybe you feel like a rebel, like somebody that's like completely out the box and nobody understands you. And you're against all odds. I'm hearing that song. by Tupac, Against All Odds. But I feel like you need to realize that yes, you are strong enough, you have the inner strength, and you don't necessarily need to rely on completely your inner strength. Your inner strength is just to encourage you to walk this path, but you won't need that much inner strength during the path because you're being watched over by the universe and the very powerful being. So just know that, you know, things will happen for you. And I see you are gonna grow. You are gonna grow. You're gonna grow your money out of this, whatever. I feel like this is something that you're doing internally, but you're gonna see money come out of this in the external. So there's your motivation. I feel like you need a bit of motivation right now of why you should climb this mountain, because you will see some money, you will see some financial growth from it, and it's a sort of financial growth that you didn't expect. It's like you weren't expecting it to happen. You weren't like you know considering that this might be a byproduct, but it's a byproduct of, you know, you going up this mountain. Some sort of ending. You're having an ending. An ending within your shadow self. Chaos. You're having an ending within yourself of chaos. So this has got to do with your shadow self. Maybe you've had a lot of trauma growing up and a lot of projections that people projected onto you, and you sort of been enslaved by this narrative, a narrative that was pushed on you. But I see this is an ending within your shadow self of chaos and opposition within yourself. Honestly, look, the opposition within yourself is ending now. Once you get to the point of realizing, you know, that this was, you know, what it was. This is what it was. It was, you know, people projecting onto you, and then you sort of, you know, going along with it and believing it. And it wasn't your fault. You were innocent in all of this. You were innocent. And you just wanted to get along with people, and you wanted people to get along with you. Feeling your energy here. And you're not gonna. So this is the ending of this situation, this chaos within yourself, this opposition within yourself, you fighting yourself, and this is something in your shadow self. So it's something happening in your subconscious, but it's an ending. It's an ending. I see you will have to put in some hard work going forwards. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You will have to put in some hard work. You will have to be productive and be confident and practical. But know that things will happen for you. You know, I see it being sort of like a slow energy. But you are putting it in a lot of work. You're going to have to put in a lot of work to see success. But you will be in this also, while you're doing this, you're going to be in this energy of luxury, of pleasure, of independence. You're going to feel abundant during this while you're working hard. So it's not just going to be all play. I mean, it might just be all play. It might feel like play. But it's not going to be all work and no play. It's going to be work and play. But I feel like some point down the line, it's going to be feeling like it's all play. Because there's something that's in your truth that's aligned with you, and it doesn't feel like work, but it is work. But as you keep putting in effort, I think the key here for you to realize is, as you put in the hard work towards whatever this is, it's gonna start to feel more and more like pleasure and luxury and independence, abundance. Like it's gonna feel like play. The more hard work you put in, the more playful it's gonna feel like. Um, and this has got to do with this mountain that you're gonna be climbing. So it's interesting. It's like you need a sort of boost to climb, initial boost to sort of like like a nitrous, where they have the nitrous cars and they sort of push a button and it goes, the car goes off. I feel like that's you here. You need to get up this mountain, but as you're putting in the hard work to get up the mountain, the more hard work you put, the less it's gonna feel difficult. The less it's gonna feel like work. It's gonna feel more like pleasure and play. It's gonna feel less like work and more like play. So your challenge for this week is to not let your mind overwhelm you and think that your dreams can't come true. Your dreams can come true, and they will come true. You just need to believe that they will. I feel like you might be feeling very discontent with life in general, discontent with your affairs, and while you're in this energy, while you've been in this energy, you're probably in this energy right now, but you've been discontent, with material happiness. Maybe your reality, you're not financially where you want to be, you're not living the way you want to live, and it's getting to you to such a point where you feel like you're not gonna have you're not gonna have a breakthrough in regards to your finances. Like you're not gonna see you're not gonna get to that level. You're not gonna burst the bubble. You're gonna stay trapped in this sort of bubble of being like conforming to whatever, and you don't want to be in the sort of energy where you have to like listen to people. You want to fly off. You want to fly like, quite high, like an eagle. I feel like this is something that's very this is a confirmation that this is for you, that you want to fly off and you want to fly high like an eagle, and it's possible. You need to realize it is possible. Your happiness is possible. You will be. You're very connected here to spirit, to the universe. I feel like you're very connected to the universe. You're not connected to spirits in general, but you will be having one watching over you. Maybe they're watching over you. No, they're not watching over you right now. They're watching your moves, but they're not watching over you. But your happiness is possible. Your foundation will be set. I think a foundation is very important for you right now. Like in your mind, you think that you need some sort of foundation. A foundation meaning your stability, like financially stability, like independence, and not having to worry about having to pay for things and stuff like that. Like I feel like that's your thing right now, that you desire. You desire balance within yourself. You don't want to have to keep, sort of feeling like a lack. You could be 19 years old, or you started, sort of something significant happened when you were 19. You had a playful moment when you were 19, and it sort of opened up your eyes to a different horizon of being playful to success. Being playful to success, and your blessings will be showered upon you. You need to have confidence. You need to have confidence, and you need to step into that energy again. 19, the number 19 is significant for you. You might live at number 19. Might be 19 years old, or something happened when you were 19. and it sort of, put you in this sort of energy where you saw something, you also had some sort of epiphany or enlightenment that by being playful, your blessings will shower upon you, and you've been sort of in this energy of trying to connect yourself more to the universe by doing so. And as you've been doing so, like, you sort of not, I think you have connected fully, but you're not seeing it in your physical reality, and you're wondering why you're not seeing it in your physical reality. You were in harmony then, and you are not in harmony right now within yourself. Your masculine and feminine was in harmony at that point in time. Your masculine and feminine is not in harmony at the moment, and it's due to this sort of conflict within yourself that you've been going through. But know that things are going to look up for you. These are your challenges basically for you, so you can avoid, and you can step into a greater, better energy. But no, this is a healing, like, it's an ending. I think you're still going through the healing process, but it's an ending, and it's got to do with your subconscious. Not your subconscious, your shadow self. I think your integration of your shadow self needs to be a lot more greater within your day-to-day affairs. You're gonna be going inwards. You're gonna be looking into yourself. You're gonna be, so look, the spirits come up there again. That powerful spirit's watching you in this time as you're reflecting. You're not alone in this moment. You're being watched over, but you're going inside. You're going deep inside and getting some sort of clarity. You're going, this is your energy. Like, you started off the weeks with the self-searching, but you're really going inwards and figuring out, where the disappointments are coming from. Why things not looking the way you want. Why is it that you feel abandoned? I feel like you feel very abandoned. And you're going inside to figure this all out, and you will be figuring it all out. Just know that, if you, as you figure this out, your future's looking very good. You're going to be earning a lot of money. You're going to be, very luxurious. You're going to be in a luxurious energy. You're going to be in a position where you're going to be able to give people. You're going to be very generous with your your finances. You're going to be very kind. You're going to help people that are are less fortunate. You're going to have that much in the future, but the key here for you, I'd say, to help you in this week, because I feel your energy is very sad. It's very melancholic almost. Like, I get that. I understand that feeling. But a key, if you can take one from me, is to know that if you embark and you decide to climb up this mountain, you're going to know what this mountain is by the end of the week. But if you climb up this mountain, it's a choice you have to make whether you want to go up it or not. You don't need to go up it, but if you go up it, it's going to look difficult. You're going to know for sure that this is for you, because your path forwards is going to look difficult, but it's not actually difficult. Not for someone like you, and you're being watched over as well. So if you can, like, just sort of motivate yourself to realize that, the more hard you're working in the future, maybe you've worked hard before in the past and things haven't come in, but just knowing now, moving forward, this mountain, whatever it is that is appearing before you, know that the harder you work, the more it's going to feel like pleasure, and the more abundant you're going to be, the more money's going to come in. And it's gonna, the harder, as you keep working harder and harder, the more productive you are. The more pleasure you're gonna have. It's not gonna feel like work for you. It's gonna all feel like play. I know it's difficult to understand. It might be difficult to understand at this moment, but just know that it's like you keep adding pentacles. Like, you keep adding pentacles. Since you've got 9 pentacles here, it's like you keep adding pentacles. That one pentacle is going to feel like 9 pentacles. that hard work, if that makes sense. It's like translating, or it's only this way, I don't know, whatever way. But this one pentacle translates to 9 pentacles. So it's like maybe you know your work really well, or you're going to be good at whatever this is, and as you work, as you feel like you're working to making 1 pentacle, it's actually turning out to be 9 pentacles, whatever this endeavor is. But yeah, just know that things are going to look very good for you in the future. You're going to be very happy as well. But this is an ending within yourself, and you need to come out of this sort of conflict, disagreement within yourself. It's causing a lot of chaos within your energy, and it's coming from your shadow self. So yeah, I'm going to leave you a reading here. If you did like the reading, leave me a like, comment, subscribe, and I shall see you again.